गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू। deAsra फाउंडेशन के जो हमारे फेसबुक पर प्रोग्राम्स चलते हैं और यहाँ पे जूम पर भी हमारे साथ कुछ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जुड़े हैं. So I welcome all of you. I'm Anand, and with me we have, our speaker today, CS Gaurav Kulkarni, as well as Mr. Nitish Kulkarni from the deAsra Foundation. So a very warm welcome, Gaurav and Nitish.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you, Nitish.
So thanks a lot for joining in. And these Facebook live sessions are actually a platform to interact with all our entrepreneurs, who join us from various parts of the country, and then understand about various topics. तो अलग अलग चीजों पर हम बात करते रहते हैं. कल हमारा एक पार्टनर स्पॉटलाइट हुआ. आज हम मिल रहे हैं CS गौरव कुलकर्णी जी के साथ, और आज का जो डिस्कशन का टॉपिक है वो ट्रेडमार्क और कॉपीराइट के बारे में है. तो जैसे ही एंटरप्रेन्योर्स अपना बिजनेस शुरुआत करते हैं, बिजनेस एंटिटी फॉर्मेशन करते हैं, और कुछ ना कुछ बिजनेस में डेवलपमेंट होती रहती है, तो ब्रांड नेम है या तो कुछ अलग अलग चीजें हैं जिसके ट्रेडमार्क के बारे में क्वेश्चंस एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के मन में आते हैं. तो कोई लाइंस है उनको कॉपीराइट करना, कुछ कैच लाइन है, उसका टैग लाइन है, उसको कॉपीराइट करना है. तो ब्रांड नेम है, वैसा ब्रांड नेम कई अलग जगह उसका यूज हुआ है, तो उसके बारे में ट्रेडमार्क या कॉपीराइट की चीजें होती है. तो बहुत सारी उसमें फॉर्मेलिटीज रहती है, और ये फॉर्मेलिटीज क्या है, उसके बारे में बिजनेस ने क्या सोचना चाहिए, कैसे सोचना चाहिए, ब्रांड के आइडेंटिटी में ये सब चीजें क्यों जरूरी है, ऐसे बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के मन में रहेंगे. तो इसके लिए हम आज मिल रहे हैं. और Gaurav basically is a company secretary with a very vast experience. More than 13 years of experience in handling legal, secretarial, and lots of licensing matters of companies in diverse sectors. तो ये जो मैंने उनके इंट्रोडक्शन में सेक्टर्स पढ़े, तो it's absolutely diverse from biotech, software, service, entertainment and manufacturing industry. तो इतनी सारी चीजों के बारे में, इतनी सारी टाइप्स के बिजनेसेस के साथ गौरव ने काम किया है. और उसी के साथ ही इज आल्सो एन एसोसिएट मेंबर ऑफ ICSI, बेसिकली इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज ऑफ इंडिया, and also Mensa Society, England. So Gaurav, as I understand, Mensa is for the giftedness, and there are societies all around the world which are related to giftedness. So Gaurav, we are very happy to have you with us today, and we will start with our discussion about trademark and copyright. So with maybe one question we will begin. एक question के साथ शुरुआत करते हैं. आपको बहुत एक्सपीरियंस होगा ट्रेडमार्क और कॉपीराइट में, तो ऐसा कोई एग्जाम्पल है जहां पे आपको ऐसा पता चला कि ट्रेडमार्क या कॉपीराइट बहुत ही जरूरी था, कोई बिजनेस ने ये नहीं किया, और उस एंड दे लैंडेड अप इनटू अ सिचुएशन वेयर देन दे हैड टू थिंक अबाउट, अरे हमने ट्रेडमार्क किया रहता तो अच्छा होता, कॉपीराइट किया रहता तो अच्छा होता.
First of all, I would like to thank deAsra for giving me this opportunity, and then I'll come to your question. Actually, ये जो सवाल आपने पूछा ये बहुत ही relevant question है, और अगर इसका एक लाइन में आंसर दिया जाए तो this we come across every day in our practice, because बहुत से entrepreneurs ऐसे होते हैं कि जो हमारे पास business होने के बाद basically when we set up a business, तो उस टाइम पे बहुत से लोगों के दिमाग में आता है कि I have spent so much amount of money on setting up my business, तो अभी मैं ही खर्चा करता हूँ, बाद में I spend certain amount of money for my branding, for my trademark, etc etc. लेकिन क्या है, जैसे I will share my presentation as well, उस टाइम पे भी हम लोग देखेंगे कि why branding is essential at the first step, because when you enter into business, you are into a competitive world. And in this competitive world, it's very easy for your competitors to copy your business, your trade name, your logo, and start the similar line of business. So it is absolutely essential on day one itself. When we start the presentation, we'll see why it is important to think about your branding first, and then why it is important for registration. So I'll just quickly share my PPT.
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward.
The first thing is there are two logos on the screen. First question comes to the mind is what all we think when we see these logos. लोगो तो हम सब लोगों को मोस्टली ये पता है. The first one is of Tata's, second one Havells का है, third Tata's का है, first is of Mercedes, Peter England is there, then Pepsi is there, Nike is there. So हमारे दिमाग में क्या आता है? When we see the logo, the name of the company mind में आता है. The quality of the products which they deliver, the services what they provide. ब्रांड के साथ हमारे इंडिया के केस में क्या होता है कि वी अटैच अवर इमोशंस टू द ब्रांड. सो अल्टीमेटली व्हेन वी बाय अ मर्सिडीज कार, व्हेन वी सी दैट लोगो, एक क्लास हमारे दिमाग में आता है कि यस इट्स अ क्लास. सो नॉट ओनली दे सेल द मर्सिडीज, लेकिन वो एक क्लास व्हीकल बेचते हैं. सो वी फील कि अरे बहुत बड़ी एक गाड़ी मेरे पास आई है, मर्सिडीज की कार है. When we buy a Tata car, what happens is we know it's a sturdy car. We every day, day in day out, we read news about say Nexon having an accident, but then there are survivors in the car. So 5-star NCP उनको rating मिला है, so safety rating मिला है उनको. So all these things we associate with the brand. इसके लिए उनको हमेशा कंपनी के नाम की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. Only the logo we can associate with the brand, with the class, with what the goods they provide, what products or services they provide. तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज यही है कि ब्रांड कनेक्शन विद द कस्टमर्स इमोशंस. सो एनी ब्रांड इन इंडिया विल गेट एसोसिएटेड विद द इमोशंस. बहुत बार हम लोग पेप्सी पीते हैं, वी एसोसिएटेड विद अ वेरी गुड क्रिकेट मैच और फुटबॉल मैच. सो वी फील, हमें याद आता है कि वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल हम लोग जीते थे, उस टाइम पे वी वर ड्रिंकिंग पेप्सी. When we wear a Peter England shirt and we go for an interview, we get selected. So there are certain products or the brands where our emotions are attached. So that is very, very important. So brand gets associated with the emotions of the customer. So as a businessman, we need to develop a brand which will get associated with the emotions of the customer. So move on to the next slide. So now the point comes is what is a mark and what is a trademark. So mainly I have just clarified the definitions what are there. So I'll just go through it, but we will discuss it more in detail in the coming slides. So mark is a device. The device means a logo, then brand, heading, label, name, signature. A word can be a mark, letter, numeral, shape of goods, packaging or combination of colors, or any combination there. So particularly this is a mark. And what is a trademark? So when a mark is capable of being represented graphically and which is capable of distinguishing the goods. So ultimately क्या है कि कोई भी mark जब आप commercial utilize करते हो market में, which is graphically represented and distinguishing the goods or services of one person from another. So that means Peter England का shirt and then any other shirt. So definitely distinguishing the goods or services of one person from the another brand, and may include the shape of goods and their packaging or combination of colors. So ultimately colors are also important. So that makes it a trademark. So now what are the features of trademark? This is very, very important from the perspective of a businessman, because when we develop a mark, or when we are into the stage of developing a mark, we need to keep these 5 things in mind. Firstly, a trademark must be distinctive. Now, distinctive का मतलब क्या है? So ultimately, distinctiveness happens by 2 ways. It can be inherent distinctiveness or it can be acquired distinctiveness. So what do you mean by inherent distinctiveness? So inherent distinctiveness in case of a trademark is when the trademark is completely innovative. अगर वर्ड मार्क है तो वो वर्ड इज नॉट एन ऑर्डिनरी डिक्शनरी मीनिंग, सो इट्स अ कंप्लीटली अ डिफरेंट वर्ड एज सच, जिसको डिक्शनरी में कोई मीनिंग नहीं है. सो इट मींस इट्स एन इनहेरेंट, अगर इट्स इनहेरेंट डिस्टिंक्टिवनेस. लोगो अगर हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं तो लोगो वी हैव नॉट, इट्स नॉट सिमिलर टू एनी अदर लोगो, इट्स कंप्लीटली अ न्यू लोगो. लाइकवाइज एक्वायर्ड डिस्टिंक्टिवनेस के केस में क्या होता है कि probably say Cadbury, Chickadee for example, which is being used, yeah, Tata's for example. So Tata's, the word of Kirloskar, from past 100 years, Kirloskar brand is there in the market. Tata's brand is there in the market. So that is an acquired distinctiveness by the purview of usage. वो brand use हो चुका है for more than a certain period of time, and it has acquired distinctiveness because of its usage. It is an acquired distinctiveness. लेकिन उसके लिए वो usage कितना होना चाहिए कि it automatically acquires distinctiveness. So by and large, when we have to develop a logo, most of the cases fall in case of inherent distinctiveness. So we don't have, when we are designing a logo, we must understand वो inherent distinctive ही होना चाहिए. कैसा होना चाहिए? It should be easy to spell, pronounce, write legibly and remember. अब उसके केस में it is not a very big name or a brand which we are applying for registration. Now, what are the functions of a registered trademark? Now, one thing we need to understand absolutely, what are we basically going for a trademark? Now, the thing is, कि जो हमने slides देखे हैं, we need to understand when a child is born, what we do, either a girl child or a boy child, बहुत से नाम हम लोग सोचते हैं कि क्या हम नाम रख सकते हैं हमारे बच्चे का, कोई यूनिक हो, अच्छा हो. So when we think from that perspective, when we give a name to a child, the similar type of a process we need to think, and for our business as well, क्योंकि हम हमारा business setup कर रहे हैं. It's not that कि हम लोग रोज-रोज हमारा business को ही चालू कर रहे हैं. So ultimately, when the same thing we do for our child, the same thing we should be doing for our business. The name should be unique, happening name, अच्छा name. Similarly, when a child goes to a school, initially school days में मतलब प्री प्राइमरी kindergarten में क्या होता है, we try to tell them colors, yellow color, red color, blue color. So they try to associate colors first. क्योंकि color association, so apple is red, so association with the color is very fast with the child. Similar thing happens with the logo. People associate the goods with the logo. Basically, a color of a particular logo, we come to know कि ये पीटर इंग्लैंड का शर्ट है. अभी पीटर इंग्लैंड के केस में वहाँ पे उन्होंने नाम लिखा है, but then a layman or a person who is an illiterate person doesn't know how to read and write, but उसको लोगो समझ में आता है because of color combination. So that color combination is absolutely essential because जो चीज हम लोग बचपन में हमको सिखाया जाता है वही चीज अप्लाई होती है in case of a logo. When the logo we are designing or developing, and ultimately consumer जब वो logo buy कर रहा है, other the goods and services the people are buying, एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज ये है कि दो लोगों अगर सिमिलर, हम लोगों को बहुत बार लगता है कि भी क्या ना सिमिलर लोगो डालते हैं अगर हो जाएगा. नो, सिमिलर लोगो इज नॉट ग्रांटेड. एट द सेम टाइम आपके गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज ओरिजिनल जिनको ब्रांड पता है उनके ज्यादा बेचे जाएंगे. सो अल्टीमेटली अ यूनिक लोगो देना is absolutely essential. Develop करना is absolutely essential because people will start associating your product with that logo just by simple logo. जैसे अभी for example in Pune we have Silai, we have n number of clothing brands. So by those logo we can associate the clothing of that particular company. So now what is the function of a trademark? इन केस ऑफ एंटरप्राइजेस एंगेज्ड, अभी यहाँ पे जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कर रहे हैं उनके लिए भी हम लोग बात करेंगे. सिमिलर पॉइंट्स विल अप्लाई इवन टू सर्विस इंडस्ट्री. In case of enterprises engaged in manufacturing sector, what the logo or the brand name does, it identifies the product and its origin. It guarantees the quality. जैसे हमने एग्जांपल में देखा कि Mercedes, या we took the example of Tata's. So it ultimately guarantees the quality of the product, quality of the car which they are providing. It advertises the product. So that is the most important thing. कि हमारा बिजनेस का नेम कुछ भी हो, our branding जो है, that advertises the product. In case of hotel industry, the name of the company or the name of the business enterprise may be different, but जो branding है, for example mainland China, so जो branding है that can be different from the name of the company. So ultimately जो branding से हम लोगों को याद रहता है कि what product we are going to get. So maybe it's a Chinese food industry, or say or Chinese restaurant, or say vegetarian or a non-vegetarian restaurant. So by that name only we get to associate. So name can be different from the company name or the enterprise name. So it advertises the product. That is absolutely essential. क्योंकि ये बहुत बार हम लोगों को सवाल आता है कि क्या हमारा कंपनी नेम अलग रह सकता है एंड हमारा ब्रांड अलग हो सकता है. तो अलग हो सकता है. इट्स एब्सोल्युटली नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपका दोनों नेम, बिजनेस नेम एंड योर लोगो या तो फिर आपका ब्रांडिंग सेम नेम से होना चाहिए. Then it creates an image of the product in the mind of the customer. So that is absolutely essential. जो हमने अभी बात की, what creates an image of the product? Your brand creates an image of the product. So we understand. जैसे हमने एग्जांपल में देखा, Mercedes की कार या Mercedes का लोगो देखने के बाद या Audi का लोगो देखने के बाद, what happens is it creates an image of the product. Yes, it's a classic car which we are buying. So ultimately, over a period of time, when you keep on using your brand in the market, it definitely happens. Image is created about your products. So it applies to service industry as well. So in the next step, we will see about the service industry. So same points are applicable. In case of enterprises engaged in service industry, similarly, what happens is it identifies the service provider, it guarantees the quality, it advertises the services offered, and it creates an image of the services in the mind of the customer. Now, the important thing, यहाँ पे नीचे कुछ logos है. Amazon, Zomato, Dunzo, and of course we all know Facebook. So चार logos यहाँ पे हैं. Amazon की तो tagline भी है वहाँ पे नीचे. So when they have designed these logos, if you see, Amazon, one arrow is going from A to Z in the Amazon logo. So that means entire range of products, the basket of products from A to Z, they are providing on their website. So this is what they wanted to depict from their logo. So that they are depicting by way of an arrow from A to Z. So very cleverly they have designed their particular logo. So we must, when we are designing a logo, we must have a thought process behind that designing. It's not about that only a graphic designer is designing and giving us the logo. So you need to sit with him. आपको उनके साथ बैठना पड़ेगा, उनके साथ बात करनी पड़ेगी. आपके पसंदीदा कलर कॉम्बिनेशन आपको बोलना पड़ेगा. जैसे फेसबुक का इज अ ब्लू कलर. So blue color is generally associated with friendship. So you need to understand why you want a specific color, what colors you like. Is there any particular reason behind liking those colors? So all those things will form part of your logo. Dunzo ka logo. In case of Dunzo, they have shown one lightning in the alphabet D. Now one must understand why they have shown lightning. इसका मतलब एक होता है कि whatever products they are delivering at a lightning pace, lightning speed. So बहुत अच्छे से इन्होंने अपने लोगों से what they wanted to convey to the others, they are trying to convey. So logo has a meaning. So ultimately बहुत वैसे मैंने बात करने के टाइम पे बोला कि when a child is born, we show them images. Images से पता चलता है. Likewise लोगों से पता चलता है कि what I want to convey. Pictorial images. बहुत बार हम देखते हैं कि 1000 साल पहले images were there in certain caves. So images only form part, and वहीं से वो शुरुआत होती है कि understanding about the business, understanding about the product, about the services from logo, and इसलिए उसका designing unique होना और अच्छे से करना is absolutely important because your entire business is dependent on your logo. So when you register a logo or a brand name, one must try to understand that it is an investment. It is not a cost because you're investing in your business. We'll just move on to the next slide. So if you have any question, so even Anand, you can interrupt me and raise the questions in between. So probably we can take them as well.
Yeah, we can, of course, take any questions that we have during right now also and later on also. Gaurav, I have one question, slightly connected to what you have been speaking. How important is this whole color thing that we are talking about? I mean, what is the logic of any sort of a color choice that brands make?
See, logic behind choosing a particular color is what I would say is that all depends on person to person and business to business. So in whether you are into a service business, whether you are into a manufacturing business, so what I would suggest is कि वो business के हिसाब से आपको color combination change करना चाहिए. See, one thing is there when you are registering a particular logo, when you are registering in black and white, then all color remains open. So you can use all colors at the time of registration if you are using black and white. But then the important thing is कि product के ऊपर आप कौन सा color choose करना चाहोगे. Because customer will associate those colors in their mind with respect to your products or services. But then, जैसे मैंने कहा कि probably से friendship से related कोई एक particular color होगा, या probably से अभी जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि hospitals भी generally associate in the red color. So these things do matter a lot. So which business you are doing, what services you are providing, and वो service से related कोई color. अभी for example, in case of a travel and tourism, most of the logos are like there is one beach, then one tree, and say sun, then sand or water. So because you can easily associate that with the travel and tourism. So probably when you see a sun and say whatever say a sea color and all, so you can associate a travel tourism or industry or something. So mainly what happens is in the industry in which you are doing business, that combination is pertaining to that logo as well as the colors you use in the particular.
Got it. Yeah, so requesting everybody also to ask any questions, and also you can ask them at the end, or maybe put it in the chat box, or in the case of Facebook, you can put it in the comments. Thanks, Gaurav. You can continue.
Yes, we can just continue. So, how to register a mark? Because we when we design a logo or a particular word mark or a name, and what's the process of registration? Because this is a common question which we come across. कितने time में register हो सकता है? How much time it will take for my logo to get registered? What is the exact process? Because ये process नहीं मालूम होती है. And then probably बहुत सारे websites पे बोला जाता है कि you will get your mark registered in 15 days, 20 days, 30 days. But then what is the exact process by law? So here in the slide, I have put some points regarding registration of a trademark, and I'll also explain it in detail. What is the exact process of registration of a trademark? So now, when we develop a logo or a wordmark or a tagline, the first thing what we have to do is we have to file an application for trademark. Now, by and large, it takes around 6 months to register the trademark if no objections or oppositions are taken by the registrar or the general public. So what happens? We file the application. So scrutiny takes place of documents what we have filed. एक बार scrutiny हो गया, scrutiny process takes generally 1.5 to 2 months. So scrutiny किस चीज की होती है? First of all, the documents what we are filing, and then the registrar checks whether any similar mark is there in that particular class. Now, what is a class under trademark? So under trademark, there are 45 classes. 45 classes means under each class, a particular manufacturing activity or a service is described. So 45 class may say there are 1 to 35 are pertaining to manufacturing classes and 36 to 45 are pertaining to service classes, service industry. So first of all, we need to identify in which particular class the goods or the services exactly fall. किस class में goods and services हमारे fall हो रहे हैं ताकि हम लोग application उस class के अंदर करें. Now one more common question is can we file an application under multiple classes? So the simple answer to that question is yes, we can file multiple applications under 2 classes, 3 classes or under all 45 classes. तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, हम लोग इंटर क्लास रेंज के अंदर भी करते हैं. सिर्फ क्या होता है कि द फीस फॉर फाइलिंग गोज ऑन इंक्रीजिंग बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट फीस एज वेल एज द प्रोफेशनल फीस आर पर क्लास पर मंथ. So first of all, we have to identify the class, then we have to file an application. The application gets scrutinized under that particular class. Once documentation gets scrutinized, then the mark gets scrutinized whether it is similar to any other mark or any objection can be raised under any particular section. Like say, जैसे हमने देखा कि it should not be generic, it should not have a geographical name. So if it is, then the objection is raised by the trademark registrar. So that is raised generally 2 महीने में, when from the date of filing application under 2 months. If at all any objections are to be raised by the trademark registrar or trademark, he raises the objections. If objections are not raised, then what happens? The mark gets published in the trademark journal, and the mark remains published for a period of 4 months. 4 महीने तो ट्रेडमार्क जर्नल में मार्क पब्लिश रहता है, जहां पे जनरल पब्लिक third parties can oppose. For example, अभी I am into a service industry, so if at all a similar logo I see, then I can oppose to that particular mark. उसको oppose बोला जाता है, because trademark registrar objection raise करता है and general public, the third party can oppose to the mark being registered. If at all nobody opposes to the mark, तो क्या होता है? 4 महीने के बाद trademark registry registers your mark and a certificate of registration is issued. This certificate of registration is valid for a period of 10 years. So one must understand from the date of application, the trademark gets registered for a period of 10 years. 10 साल के लिए मिलता है trademark registration certificate और 10 साल के बाद the mark can be renewed for a period of another 10 years. So 10 साल के लिए हम लोग renewal दे सकते हैं. तो ऐसा कितने भी साल हम लोग दे सकते हैं. So in case of a company, वो company को भी सर जैसे मैंने बोला कि टाटा हो या किर्लोस्कर हो, maybe they have registered it way back somewhere some date very prior, लेकिन वो 10 साल के renewals करते रहते हैं. Now where are the objections points? जैसे मैंने कहा कि trademark registrar can raise an objection. So what we have to do, we have to file a reply to it, and if the reply is satisfactory, again the mark gets registered, the mark gets published in the journal. If not, the hearing takes place where a professional appears, a trademark agent or an advocate or any authorized person or the company's representative or the owner of the enterprise can appear for hearing. Even the opposition के केस में क्या होता है? After hearing, the mark can be accepted or rejected. Accepted, it is published in the journal. Similarly, in case of opposition, the mark goes for the litigation. So this is by and large the process of registering a trademark. So in case you have any queries with respect to the registration process, you can please ask and raise your queries. Now, one important question is where should you use your registered trademark? Only question इसलिए important है because जैसे हमने देखा कि ट्रेडमार्क का एक सबसे बड़ा जेनेसिस इज the more you use your trademarks, the more the brand value gets created in the minds of your customer. So जहाँ जहाँ पे भी you can use your branding, so maybe it's a name, it's a logo because it has to be unique. Because जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि once a unique name you use, so the more you use your name with your product, with your service, the more you use your logo with your name, with your product and the services, the more it will reach to the customers. So the important aspect is where you should use your registered trademark. So you should use them on the goods, the products. That is by and large what obvious thing what we are going to do. Then on your invoices. So invoices it is of prime importance because we send invoices day in day out. What happens is invoices के ऊपर हमारा logo या अपना brand name होना why it is absolutely essential or prime important है because when we can say we can prove that it is the logo is used from that particular date because for example if I'm giving the invoice today on say 23rd of September then my logo is printed on my invoice today. So the point is even after 10 years I can say on 23rd of September 2022 I use this logo. Probably in case of wherever other things wherever we are using the logo the date doesn't appear. So point of proving that I'm using the logo from so and so date is very difficult. So for evidentiary value also it is very important to use your logo on your invoices. Then letterheads. So for every businesses we by and large we have our letterheads. So please use your logos or the brand name on the letterheads as well. And diaries gifting. That is absolutely essential because when you are gifting any products to your customers, to any third party, your brand is being reached out to them. और brand यहाँ तक पहुँचता है because you never know. Suppose anybody has gifted a diary to me, I am going for a meeting or any person comes for a meeting, he sees the logo, he may ask, अरे ये कितना अच्छा logo है, ये किसका brand name है, बहुत ही unique है. So उसमें से discussions चालू होते हैं कि what business they do. So indirect advertisement होती है वहीं से शुरू. So that is the reason why gifting articles के ऊपर भी हमारा branding होना absolutely essential है. अभी जैसे दिवाली आ रही है, नवरात्र आ रहा है, न्यू ईयर आता है, फिर गिफ्ट से कैलेंडर्स हम लोग दे देते हैं. तो उसके ऊपर we have to ensure that our branding comes on them as well. And of course, one more important aspect is the correct color combination. So probably if it's a navy blue logo, so please ensure it's a navy blue. So make sure that correct branding is going outside. Then uniforms. So uniforms के ऊपर जैसे हमारे employees हैं, colleagues हैं, so ultimately when they are representing your company, your enterprise, your business, your brand goes out. Vendor of the enterprise of the company, so that is definitely that because we want everybody to come to our business places for meetings, for buying products or services or taking services or availing services, what we can say. So another aspect where our services and the brand goes out to the reach out to the customers. Email stationery, of course, we have to print it on our other as a signature in our emails and on our stationery as well. So mainly all these things we reach out to the customers, and once we reach out to the customer our brand increases. When our brand increases, the value associated with our brand automatically in the market increases, our reach increases, customer base हमारा बढ़ जाता है उससे. And the moment our customer increases, indirect advertisement from person to person definitely happens about our products, about our services. So जो हम लोग branding करते हैं, that is essential from all the angles for selling our products. Because when we are doing business, when we are entering into business, one thing is there we want the customer base to increase every day, not only every month or every year, because we want to increase our revenue. And we cannot increase our revenue unless and until we have a brand associated to our product and services both. So that is the reason why when we are developing a brand for our products and services, we need to develop it at the inception itself. We cannot wait for things to happen. कि हमारा business चलने दो, एक साल चलने दो, 2 साल चलने दो, 5 साल चलने दो, funds आएंगे, then probably we will develop a brand, we will develop a logo, we will think of a tagline, then probably we will think of a unique name for our products or services. No, this cannot happen because you want to increase your revenue from day one itself, from inception itself of your business. for that to happen, everything has to be in place from day one itself. So your branding, your logos, your taglines, everything must have it in place from beginning itself. So that was relating to the trademark. So probably on trademark, if you have any questions, you can please raise the questions, and then I'll move to copyright.
Gaurav, I think it was absolutely helpful because people or entrepreneurs generally are aware about what trademark means. लेकिन आपने जो छोटी छोटी बातें बताई कि उसके बारे में सोचना कैसे चाहिए और वो इम्पोर्टेंट क्यों है. And in the competitive world, I think it's absolutely relevant on all the pointers that you shared. Uh, yeah, any questions? We would maybe wait for a couple of seconds. Otherwise, we can move into copyright.
Honestly speaking, Anand, the entire topic is so vast to fit it into say probably 45 minutes or 1 hour is very difficult. But
Right.
then what I suggest is that you can raise your concern anytime afterwards as well because it's a very vast
Absolutely.
topic.
Absolutely.
To cover it, I just try to summarize it as much as possible.
Right.
Probably we could reach it to the entrepreneurs so that they can understand it. And probably the main crux of the matter is at the time of developing or say designing your logo and of course your brand name, because even name also when you're designing, please give it a thought. Please spend some time on that. It's not that कि designer को दे दिया, उन्होंने logo बना के दे दिया and then you're filing an application, because it may happen कि उन्होंने but copy paste किया होगा, then you may land in trouble. Because you
Absolutely.
need to sit with them, you need to give your thought process, you need to give them ideas, and then they will be able to do. क्योंकि उनको भी नहीं समझ में आने वाला. Unless you are there with them, but the unique name होगा तो unique name you need to think कि कोई इसका dictionary ordinary meaning नहीं है ना. Because बहुत बार क्या होता है कि we feel कि नहीं generic name हम लोग दे देंगे business को. But then what happens is the generic name won't be granted to you because anybody else can use the same name for their own business as well. So uniqueness होना चाहिए. जैसे for example, जब हम washing powder देखते हैं तो ring देखते हैं हम लोग. So ring has absolutely no dictionary meaning. It cannot be associated with any powder. But then now हम लोग को पता है कि ring मतलब washing powder. Surf excel मतलब washing powder. So if you see, there is nothing as dictionary meaning or ordinary meaning. But then when they started using that particular word, it was a unique word. But आज के तारीख में we all know what you mean by ring and all the brands which you see in the market. So somewhere down the line we need to have that mentality. क्योंकि बहुत बार मैंने देखा है लोगों को लगता है कि अरे ये word तो किसी को पता ही नहीं. So how can I sell my product or services? But then that is the crux or genesis of trademark. वो word लोगों को पता चलेगा जब आप बिजनेस करोगे. जब आप by and large you sell your goods and when you provide your services to the customers, तब वो जाके मार्केट में आपका वर्ड आपका प्रोडक्ट हिट होगा and then definitely people will buy your product. So you have to have that patience as well when you're doing a business and when you're developing and selling your products by branding them. So that is very
Absolutely. Sure. I think we can move ahead with copyright and take the questions later.
Yes, because I guess we have just 10 to 15 minutes to take for the questions.
Yes.
So I'll just move ahead with copyright. So what do you mean by copyright? Now, copyright describes the rights. I'll just read the slide first and then explain. Copyright describes the rights given to the creators for their literary, musical, and artistic work such as novels and poetry, songs, paintings, sculpture, films, choreography, architecture, technical drawings, and computer programs. So I'll just go to the slide first and I'll just come back to each and every point. Copyright provides exclusive rights to the creators to use or authorize others to use their works. And the third point is the creator of a work can prohibit or authorize its reproduction in various forms, including painting, recording, broadcasting, public performance, translation, or adaptation. So ultimately, copyright में क्या हो सकता है? So even the next. So ultimately, what is a copyright? So when we are drawing or when we are drawing, say, sketching, painting, when we are taking a photograph, everything forms part of copyright. So if you see all these three points basically, and who is a creator? So the person, जो person photo खींच रहा है, जो person text लिख रहा है. For example, if I am writing a novel, if I am writing a story, so I am the creator of that particular book. Similarly, literary matlab everything a literature. So writing a book, writing a novel forms part of a literary, musical and artistic work. So anybody who is probably say music कोई create कर रहा है, poetry, so poems create कर रहा है, songs create कर रहा है, painting, choreography. So everything forms part of a copyright ultimately. And copyright provides exclusive right to the creator. So who is a creator? जैसे मैंने बोला कि जो person create कर रहा है, he is a creator of that particular copyright. So ultimately, copyright gives exclusive right. So probably if I'm writing a novel, exclusive right to that novel rests with me. And any other person, if he wants to do any copying, unless it is specifically excluded, then he has to take permission from me or pay certain amount of royalty to me. So ultimately, it provides exclusive right to the creators to use or authorize others to use their work. So what do you mean by authorize others? So I can authorize any other person. So I am written a novel, and then probably I am giving to a publisher. Publisher के पास जा रहा हूँ, उस publisher को I am giving a right to publish my novel and sell it in the market, of course. Similarly for painting. So if I'm doing a painting, then I can give rights to others to create a similar image and sell it in the market. Songs के case में भी similarly we sell our rights to say music industry, series, etc. And then they sell it to the end customers. Like the third point, what he says, the creator of the work can prohibit or authorize its reproduction. So ultimately, when I am a creator, मैं किसी और को मेरा सिमिलर वर्क करने से, लिखने से, कॉपी करने से प्रोहिबिट कर सकता हूँ, ऑथराइज फ्रॉम reproduction. So probably he cannot copy it from painting, from printing, recording, broadcasting, copy for translation or adaptation. So now, the ownership of copyright lies with whom ultimately? So one by one we will see that as well. The author of the work is the first owner of the copyright. So जैसे हमने देखा कि who is the author. So in case of a literary work, I am the author because I am writing the book. So I am the first owner of the copyright of the work. The author of the book in relation to various categories. So we'll see the categories and who are the authors of that. So literary or dramatic work, the author of the work. So whosoever is writing the book or the novel. Similarly, literary, dramatic, musical, artistic work. So artistic means say drawing, painting, so all type of artistic work. In that case, or a computer generated work, so the person who causes the work to be created. So who is causing the work we need to see, and he becomes the author of the work. Similarly, in case of musical work, the composer in relation to the musical work. So who is the music composer? We need to understand that, and he becomes the author of the musical work. Then artistic work, other than a photograph, the artist. So in case of photograph, we know the person who takes the photograph is the owner of the or the author of the copyright. But apart from artistic work, apart from a photographer, is the artist who is creating that art particularly. In case of a cinematography film, the producer of such film, and sound recording, the case with the producers of the sound recorders. So there are various authors. We need to understand who is the author. Why we need to understand who is the author? Because first of all, the author becomes author of the copyright becomes the owner of the copyright. So while filing a copyright application, we need to see who is the author of the copyright, and then file the application for registration of the copyright accordingly. So now, by and large, this is the very important question what we come across most of the time. What is the difference between a trademark and a copyright? Because वो नहीं समझ में आता। बहुत बार लोग बोलते हैं कि नहीं मुझे कॉपीराइट के अंदर जाना है या ट्रेडमार्क के अंदर जाना है, प्लीज एक्सप्लेन टू मी, नहीं समझ में आता। So I've made this slide. In case of trademark, logo, mark, jingle, tagline, label, unique word forms part of a trademark. But in case of a copyright, literary work, dramatic work, musical work, artistic work, cinematographic film, sound recording, all these forms part of copyright. So there is a distinction. It cannot be rather जो चीज ट्रेडमार्क के अंडर फॉल हो रही है नीड नॉट फॉल अंडर कॉपीराइट, एंड जो चीज कॉपीराइट के अंडर फॉल हो रही है नीड नॉट फॉल अंडर ट्रेडमार्क। वन थिंग वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द राइट्स गिवन बाय बोथ द एक्ट्स आर डिफरेंट। ट्रेडमार्क हमें अलग राइट देता है, कॉपीराइट हमें अलग राइट देता है। जब हम कोई किताब लिखते हैं तो एंटायर बुक गेट्स रजिस्टर्ड अंडर द कॉपीराइट, इट कैनॉट गेट अंडर द ट्रेडमार्क। बट अगर उस बुक का कोई नेम है, यूनिक नेम है, उस बुक के ऊपर हम लोग कोई ब्रांडिंग करें, दैट विल गो अंडर द ट्रेडमार्क। So first of all, we need to identify what particular will fall under, whether what type of thing you have developed or written or say images you have created, and where it will fall under trademark or copyright, because that identification is very essential। बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हमने देखा है कि ट्रेडमार्क के अंदर लोगो डिजाइन नहीं हो रहा है, इसलिए हम लोग कॉपीराइट के अंदर एप्लीकेशन फाइल कर देते हैं। बट देन ट्रेडमार्क के अंदर जो प्रोटेक्शन मिल रहा है, इट इज प्रोटेक्टिंग योर बिजनेस आइडेंटिटी, अल्टीमेटली इट इज प्रोटेक्टिंग योर बिजनेस ब्रांडिंग। Corporate is not protecting your business branding as such, that is giving you a different right altogether। So मेरा जो बिजनेस का लोगो है वो कॉपीराइट के अंदर एज ए इमेज इट गेट्स प्रोटेक्टेड, but trademark के अंदर any other person cannot copy that image and provide the same service। That is absolutely essential, because the same service or same product cannot be provided when it is registered, when the image is registered under a trademark। So we need to understand that and identify that under which particular rather trademark या copyright के अंदर आपका application all होता है और application कर सकते हैं। उस चीज के लिए आई वुड सजेस्ट कि यू see to it कि आप कौन क्या क्रिएट कर रहे हो, बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर क्रिएटिंग अ सर्टेन थिंग, अगर आप पेंटिंग कर रहे हो तो पेंटिंग डेफिनेटली cannot be applied for under trademark, because वो पेंटिंग ट्रेडमार्क के अंडर डालने से पेंटिंग should not be copied is not going to give you a right under trademark। So painting should not be copied by any person, वो प्रोटेक्ट आपका कॉपीराइट करेगा। So copyright law will protect that, that you will get under copyright। So that was all from my side। So another one last thing I would like to say for all the what I will say entrepreneurs, intellectual property rights violations are a crime that we all know, and we don't believe we should be negotiating crimes with our trading partners। So ये सबसे important है कि if at all your copyright is, if at all your intellectual properties are violated, what are you doing? You are just negotiating with your trading partners for after they have copied your trademark or after they have copied your IP rights। So from in case of copyright, they have recreated your novel and all। So for that you need to protect your intellectual property rights at the inception itself। You cannot wait for your trading partners to copy your intellectual property and then use it for their own businesses। So I would keep the session open for questions and we can proceed first।
Great, Gaurav. I think it was very insightful discussion as you explained about copyright and trademark. Uh, Maybe we can now just have a word with all our entrepreneurs present if they have any questions, and stop sharing the screen.
Hello, my
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is Pravina. I'm from Magic Bus. Hello.
yeah, Praveen.
Uh, okay. I have two questions. One is like, sorry, I joined little late. So, how much cost the entrepreneur has to bear for for trademark? And secondly, who are the people whom he or she should consult for creating this trademark, because he himself may not be that expert in doing this. So who are the people whom he or she should contact
So,
for
Gaurav,
creating this?
Persons for what purpose? Can you please repeat?
My first question is, if uh, if somebody has to create a trademark, whom they should actually contact, and how much it will cost to an entrepreneur if he or she wants to develop a trademark, whether it's a logo or a tagline, everything. How much cost will be involved for registering that trademark and even creating? And who are the people whom can support him, or who are these experts from where he can get the contacts?
Thank you for asking this question. So basically, this is a very vital and a valid question. But the only thing is, I may not be able to give you a definite answer to that. But I'll tell you by and large what are the factors involved in determining the cost of rather designing till registration of a trademark. So first thing, the first important aspect is about the designer, because see, designing probably it's I won't say exact specific cost, लेकिन online अगर आप देखते हो तो even it starts from 500 rupees से लेके even I know designers who design logos even beyond 5 lakh rupees. So it all depends what kind of logo you want to design or branding you want, because branding necessarily doesn't mean only developing your logo, because what happens is it's one thing designing your logo and then what constitutes a branding, जैसे हमने देखा कि कहाँ कहाँ पे आप use कर सकते हो logo, so printing that particular logo on your branding material as well. So everything forms part of the cost of your particular designing process. So you need to identify first, because probably if you go to a designer, you can ask him कि मुझे सिर्फ logo designing पे कितना खर्चा आएगा, because that necessarily doesn't mean कि printing it on your branding as well. So there is a difference in that. So first thing is designing your logo and cost involved for that. The second question is the registration process itself. कि एक आपका logo design हो गया अच्छे से, after वो design होने के बाद the entire process starts from filing an application till it gets registered. So what happens is कि जैसे मैंने कहा आपको कि government fees for making or filing an application is a straightforward fee. 4,500 is there for small enterprises, which means जो small enterprises is which is a small company or enterprises having with micro and small with Udyam registration. So which fall under micro and small under MSME. Those who have Udyam registration certificates with them. So small enterprises by and large have to pay 4,500 per class per month government fees. And in case the enterprise is not a small enterprise, then 9,000 rupees are the government fees. So that is just the government fees and what I'm talking about. Where the real cost gets involved is filing an application, then probably say if at all objections are raised, then filing an appropriate legal reply to it. Then if hearing goes to hearing, paying for hearing. So it gets added, but it is not necessary that the rest of the cost will be there, because filing an application, if it goes straight to, just like I shared in my presentation, if the mark gets registered within 6 months, then only the filing fees have to be paid. So probably the cost varies from case to case basis, which probably you can consult the consultant and get the quotations from them as well for costing purposes.
And
Thank you
Pravina
so
ji
much.
would also like to
Hmm.
share that you can also contact the Asra Foundation, and they will also help you from the ecosystem. They will connect you with the right service provider for the same.
Definitely. Rather, I
Yes,
would
yes.
like to like what I can say, appeal to all the business entrepreneurs. There are plenty of services provided by deAsra out
Hmm.
there. Please visit the website once and avail right from Udyam registration, trademark registration, formation of company, the plenty of services offered. So please go to the website once and avail those services so that you can get connected with the mentors as well as the concerned service partners.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Pravina ji. And I would request all of you to also share your questions later on, or maybe in the comment section for FB Live as well. Gaurav, I think it was a great discussion, and we will keep connecting time and again. Thanks a lot for all your insights. And we will stay in touch. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Anand, and I would like to thank deAsra for giving me this opportunity and being a privileged service partner with deAsra for such a long period of time. Whether we are associated with deAsra for more than 5 to 6 years now. So I would once again like to thank you all, even including Anand Deshpande and the entire team of deAsra for providing me this opportunity, wonderful opportunity to interact with the business entrepreneurs. So thank you once again.
Thanks. And you can also contact the Asra Foundation on www.deasra.in, or maybe call on the number that's provided on the website. So thanks a lot and see you all again.